Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Hub. It's David here, speaking to you from our cozy little studio in Los Angeles. Well, cozy might not be the first word that comes to mind today. It's raining outside, the wind is howling like it's auditioning for a horror movie soundtrack, and I swear, Max, my Labrador, just refused to go for a walk. Couldn't blame him, though. Even I'd rather stay inside with a cup of hot coffee today.
Yeah, same here. Hi, everyone. It's Jessica, or Jess, if you prefer. I actually had to wait for the bus in that rain earlier, and let's just say my umbrella didn't really do its job. But now that I'm here, it feels so nice. Warm lights, good coffee, and my favorite co-host.
Thank you, Jess. See, that's the secret to a good day. Great company and maybe a talking parrot, like my Gemini, who's currently at home probably telling Max to stay motivated in business English.
I love that bird. You should bring him to the studio one day, but only if he promises not to take over the show. Anyway, to everyone listening, wherever you are, whether you're sipping tea, making dinner, or just lying in bed getting cozy, we're so happy you're here.
Absolutely. This isn't one of those boring grammar classes where the teacher stares at you until you conjugate every single verb correctly. Nope. This is your relaxed English time where we talk, laugh, and sneak in some learning without making it feel like hard work.
Exactly. So if you're doing the dishes, walking your dog, or even pretending to study while scrolling on your phone, don't worry, you're in the right place. Today's topic might sound simple, present simple actually, but trust us, it's one of those things that sounds easy until you start thinking about it too much.
Yeah, and then suddenly your brain's like, wait, do I say I go or I'm going? And then boom, panic mode.
Oh, totally. But don't worry, we're not here to panic about grammar. We're here to talk about it, use it, and make it something that just feels natural. Because honestly, we all use present simple every single day, even when we don't notice.
That's right. So grab your coffee or tea or maybe a smoothie if you're being healthy like Jess.
Hey, someone has to balance out your fast food lifestyle.
Fair enough. But whatever you're having, just relax. You don't need a notebook. You don't need to study. You just need to listen, smile, and maybe talk along with us because today we're going to dive into one of the most everyday but secretly powerful parts of English, the present simple tense.
I like how that sounds, powerful tense. It really is. So let's cozy up, ignore that storm outside, and start exploring how present simple actually shapes the way we talk, think, and describe our world right here, right now.
Perfectly said. Let's get into it.
So let's start with the name itself, present simple. It already sounds, well, simple, right? But don't let that word fool you. Simple doesn't mean boring. It just means it's the foundation, the clean, everyday structure of English. It's like the plain white t-shirt in your grammar wardrobe. You wear it all the time, sometimes alone, sometimes under something fancy.
That's a great comparison, Jess. Yeah, present simple is kind of the essential outfit of English. It's the tense we use the most in daily communication. If English tenses had a popularity contest, present simple would be the winner. Gold medal, no question.
Oh, absolutely. We use it to talk about facts, routines, and things that are always true. It's like the default setting of English.
Exactly. It's like the language's automatic mode. You wake up and say, I get up at 7. You go to work and say, I work in marketing. You meet someone and say, I like coffee. You don't need any time machine for that. It's just your life, your habits, the way things are.
I love that, the way things are, because that's really what present simple is for. It describes things that are true in general, not just right now, like the earth goes around the sun, or cats hate taking baths.
And Luna probably agrees with that one.
Oh, definitely. She makes that very clear every time I even think about giving her a bath. So yeah, the main idea of present simple is to talk about facts, routines, and truths. Not about the moment, not about the future, but about what's always true or what usually happens.
Right, and you know what I find funny? So many people think the name present means it's about now, like what's happening right at this second. But no, that's what present continuous is for. Present simple is more about things that happen regularly.
Exactly. Like when you say, I drink coffee every morning, you're not saying you're drinking it right now. You're saying it's something you do as part of your routine.
And it's kind of poetic if you think about it. Present simple shows our patterns, what we do again and again, what defines us. It's like a mirror of our everyday life.
I love that idea. It's so true. It's not just grammar, it's a reflection of who you are and how your world usually looks. So, if someone asked, hey Jess, what's present simple for? I'd say it's for talking about the things that don't change every 5 minutes. Your routines, habits, and facts about life.
Nicely put. So, yeah, if we had to sum it up, we could say present simple is the most used tense in English, and we use it to describe what we do, what we like, what we believe, and what's true in general. It's like the heartbeat of the language.
Oh, I like that. The heartbeat of the language. See, this is why I love talking grammar with you, David. You make it sound almost romantic.
Well, what can I say? I'm just passionate about tenses. But seriously, if you understand present simple, you already understand a huge part of how English works every day, from morning routines to world facts.
Exactly. And that's why we always say never underestimate these simple things. They're usually the most powerful.
Couldn't agree more. Present simple may be the most basic tense, but it's also the one that keeps your English alive and real.
So let's go a little deeper into the main idea of the present simple. We already said it's about things that are true or regular, but now let's make it more real. Think of it like this. The present simple is your everyday story. It's the tense of your habits, your routines, your facts about life. It's like your personal documentary that runs on repeat.
I like that, your everyday story. Because really, this tense is what we use when life is predictable, comfortable, and full of patterns. You know, like I brush my teeth every morning, I watch football on Sundays, or I work from home. It's all about regular actions that happen again and again.
Yes. So if someone asks, when do I use present simple? The answer is simple. When you talk about habits, routines, things that don't change quickly. It's for describing what usually happens in your world.
Right, like if I say I eat too much fast food, that's not something I'm doing this second, but it's something that happens regularly.
Aw, David. That's your classic example every time. But yes, that's the perfect use of present simple. It's honest, repetitive, and kind of predictable.
Predictable, yeah, that's a good key word here. Because this tense lives in the world of logic, not emotion. It's not dramatic, it's not sudden, it's steady. It gives your sentence that feeling of something normal, stable, and familiar.
Yes, it's the tense of balance. It doesn't show excitement or chaos. It just quietly says, that's how it is. Like, water boils at 100 degrees, or the sun rises in the east. These are not just actions, they're facts, things that are always true no matter what's going on around us.
And that's why it's so powerful, because you can use it to describe universal truths like scientific facts, general statements, or even things that define human nature, like people need connection, or dogs love attention. Those sentences feel calm, confident, almost timeless.
I love that. It's true, the emotional mood of the present simple is calm, logical, and sometimes even a little neutral. It doesn't show feelings like excitement or surprise. It's the everyday voice of English.
Yeah, it's like the English language sitting back with a cup of coffee saying, relax, this is just how things are.
That's so accurate. And we also use it for schedules or timetables like the train leaves at 9 or my yoga class starts at 6. Even if those things happen in the future, the present simple makes them sound fixed and official.
Yes, it gives that sense of certainty. No emotion, just facts. The event is planned. It's written down. no discussion.
So, to sum up this part, the present simple is used for habits, routines, facts, schedules, and things that are always true. It expresses stability and logic. It doesn't focus on emotion or the process, it focuses on the result or the pattern.
Perfect summary, Jess. It's almost like the present simple is the home base of English, where everything starts and everything returns.
I love that image, home base, because yes, no matter how complicated other tenses get, you always come back to this one. It's your safe zone.
Absolutely. And once you really feel how the present simple works, it becomes your natural voice in English. Simple, strong, and confident.
All right, let's talk about the structure, the formula, if you want to call it that, for present simple statements. I know, it sounds a bit grammar-y, but don't worry, we'll keep it light. So in its simplest form, the present simple sentence is super clean. The order is subject plus verb plus the rest of the sentence. That's it. No extra helpers, no complicated endings, at least not most of the time.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's like the minimalist design of grammar. Simple, neat, and functional. For example, I work every day. Subject, I, verb, work, and then the rest, every day. Boom, sentence done.
Exactly. So if we look at different subjects, the sentence doesn't really change except when we use he, she, or it. That's when English suddenly adds that little s or es to the verb, like I work, but he works. I play football, but she plays football.
Yeah, that little S is tiny, but it's powerful and easy to forget. I always tell my students that the S is like the quiet rule of English. It doesn't shout, but if you ignore it, every native speaker's ear will twitch immediately.
True. And it's funny how such a small letter can make such a big difference. So let's go through a few examples to make it clear. I live in Los Angeles. You live in Los Angeles. We live in Los Angeles. They live in Los Angeles. All normal, simple. But then he lives in Los Angeles. She lives in Los Angeles. It lives in Los Angeles. Here's where that S appears.
Right, and notice how the word order never changes. English is very strict about that. It always keeps the same pattern. Subject first, verb second, and then the rest of the sentence. It's not like some other languages that like to move things around. English likes order.
Exactly. That's why present simple is actually great for beginners. It gives you a strong base to understand how English sentences are built. It's predictable.
So the formula for a statement is subject plus base verb plus es for he, she, or it plus object or complement. Simple as that.
And when we talk about endings, we've already mentioned the S and ES. The rule is for most verbs, just add S. He works, she plays, it rains. If it ends with CH, SH, SX, or O, we add ES, like he watches TV, she goes to school, it mixes well. And if it ends with a consonant plus Y, we change Y to I and add ES, like he studies, she tries.
Yeah, the famous spelling drama. It's one of those things you just get used to after seeing it enough times. And by the way, in positive sentences, we don't need any auxiliary verbs like do or does. Those come later in questions or negatives.
Right, and statements, we keep it clean. I like pizza. He likes pizza. They like pizza. Just the subject and the verb. It's as simple as English gets.
And honestly, that's what makes this tense so friendly. Once you remember that S for he, she, or it, you're good to go. Everything else stays the same.
Exactly. It's like English giving you a little reminder, like, hey, don't overthink it. Just keep the order, subject first, verb second, and don't forget the S for third person.
Perfect summary, Jess. So to wrap up, present simple statements always follow the same pattern. Subject plus verb plus the rest. Add S or ES for he, she, or it. No helping verbs. No stress.
Yep, it's the calmest, most predictable sentence structure you can have in English. Once you feel that rhythm, everything else just clicks naturally.
Now, let's talk about negation. How to say that something doesn't happen in the present simple. Because, of course, life isn't all, I love Mondays and I eat vegetables. Sometimes you just need to say, no, I don't.
Exactly. The negative form is where English brings in its little helper, the auxiliary verb do. It steps in to carry the negative word not. So the formula becomes subject plus do not, don't, or does not, doesn't, plus base verb plus the rest.
Right, and that's really important. We use do or does to build the negative. The main verb itself stays in its base form. So, for example, I don't like rainy weather. You don't watch TV in the morning. They don't work on weekends. But when it's he, she, or it, we switch to doesn't. He doesn't eat fast food. She doesn't play tennis. It doesn't rain much in summer.
Perfect. And notice what David said. The main verb stays in the base form. That's one of the biggest mistakes learners make. People often say things like, he doesn't plays or she doesn't likes. But no. The S disappears because does already carries that grammar job for you.
Exactly. Think of does as a grammar bodyguard. It says, don't worry, main verb, I've got this one. So you never need to add the S again after doesn't.
That's such a funny but true image. So again, for negatives, we say, I don't work late, not I doesn't work late. We say, he doesn't cook much, not he don't cook much.
Yeah, that he don't one is super common, especially in songs and movies because it sounds casual, but grammatically, it's wrong in standard English. So remember, I don't for I, you, we, they. He doesn't for he, she, it.
Exactly. It's simple once you get the pattern. And what I love about this structure is that it gives your sentence a soft, polite way to disagree or say something negative, like, I don't think so. I don't agree. I don't have time. It's so natural and common in conversation.
Yeah, and we use it all the time, not just to talk about habits, but also opinions. Like, I don't like horror movies, or I don't believe that story. It's not dramatic, it's just calm and clear.
True. The emotional mood of the present simple negative is kind of neutral, not angry, not sad. It's just logical. You're simply describing what isn't part of your routine or what isn't true for you.
And that's what makes it so practical. Once you remember the formula, do, does, not, plus base verb, you can make a negative about literally anything. I don't drive. She doesn't smoke. We don't work on Sundays. It doesn't look good today.
And if you want to sound more natural in conversation, you almost always use the short forms, don't and doesn't. Nobody really says do not unless they're being very serious or dramatic, like, do not touch my coffee.
Yeah, that's when it's serious business. So, quick recap. Use don't with I, you, we, they. Use doesn't with he, she, it. Keep the verb in base form, no S after doesn't. And most importantly, don't stress about it. It's one of the easiest negatives in English once you see the pattern.
Couldn't agree more. The present simple negative is your easy tool for everyday no. Just remember the helper, do, keep your verb simple, and you'll sound natural every time.
Exactly. Say it with confidence. I don't panic. I just learn.
That's the spirit.
That's true. All right, now let's move on to one of my favorite parts, questions. Because let's be honest, half of communication in English is about asking things. Where do you live? What do you do? Do you like coffee? We ask all the time. So in present simple, forming questions is actually really logical once you get the pattern.
Yeah, it's all about that magic little word do again, and its friend does. They come back to help us. But this time, instead of just carrying the negative, they jump to the front of the sentence. That's what we call inversion. We switch the order of the subject and the auxiliary verb.
Exactly. So the formula for a question is do or does plus subject plus base verb plus the rest of the sentence. Simple and clean. For example, do you work here? Do they play football on Sundays? Does he like pizza?
Does it rain a lot in London?
Perfect examples. And see how the main verb stays in its base form again? No S after does. We don't say, does he likes? That's one of the classic mistakes students make. The S already lives inside does, so you don't need it on the main verb.
Yeah, think of it like does already borrowed the S from the verb. The main verb can relax now. So we say, does she work, not does she works.
That's a great way to remember it. And we also have two main types of questions: yes, no questions and WH questions.
Right. Yes, no questions are simple. They start with do or does, and the answer is just yes or no. Like, do you like sushi? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Does he play guitar? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't.
And WH questions are the ones that start with words like what, where, when, why, who, how. You just put that word before do or does. For example, where do you live? What do you do after work? When does she get up? Why does he always forget his keys? How do they travel to school?
Exactly. And again, the main verb never changes. It's always in the base form. That's the golden rule. So what does she do is correct. But what does she does? No, that's a grammar nightmare.
Yeah, that one makes every English teacher twitch. And there's another common mistake, forgetting to use do or does at all, like saying where you live instead of where do you live, or he like coffee instead of does he like coffee?
Yes, that happens a lot because in some languages, you just change your voice tone to make a question, right? But in English, the word order is sacred. You have to use do or does to build a proper question in present simple.
Exactly. And even when we ask short or casual questions, the structure stays the same. We just make it shorter. For example, do you work? Does he drive? Or very casual, you work here? That one's common in speech, but grammatically it's missing the do, so it's better to say the full form when learning.
Right. Native speakers sometimes break the rules in conversation, but when you're learning, it's best to keep the structure. So remember, do or does plus subject plus base verb. That's the heart of every present simple question.
And it's also super flexible. You can ask long questions like, do you usually go to the gym after work or in the morning? Or short ones like, do you cook? It's the same formula, it just grows with your sentence.
Exactly. The skeleton never changes. And the cool thing is, once you really get this pattern, you'll automatically start forming natural questions without even thinking about it.
Yep, that's the goal. So quick recap. To form a question in present simple, use do or does, switch the order with the subject, keep the main verb in base form, and don't forget to smile while you ask.
Yeah, especially if you're asking something like, do you like grammar?
You might need that smile.
Yeah, true.
But honestly, once you get the rhythm of do or does plus subject plus verb, it becomes second nature, and asking questions in English will finally start to feel natural, not scary.
Exactly. Because asking the right question is how every good conversation and every great English skill begins.
Okay, let's talk about the best friends of the present simple, the key words or time markers. These little words are like signposts in a sentence. They tell us when something happens and help us decide which tense to use. In other words, they're your grammar GPS.
I love that grammar GPS. So basically, present simple has its own set of words that usually appear with it, and once you see them, your brain can almost automatically say, yes, present simple fits here.
Yes, so the most common keywords for present simple are words that describe habits, routines, or general truths. Think every day, always, usually, often, sometimes, never, on Mondays, at night. For example, I drink coffee every morning. Every morning is your little clue that this is a regular action, present simple, all the way.
Right. And it also works for general truths, things that are always true, no matter the moment. Words like usually, always, generally help us understand that the action is repeated or typical, like the sun rises in the east. Always is implied, so present simple is the perfect fit.
Yep, and these markers are super helpful because English has other tenses that might confuse learners. Like, if you see every day or usually, it's probably not present continuous. You're talking about habits, not what's happening right now.
Yes, present continuous has its own keywords like now, at the moment, today. So the markers really guide you. With present simple, it's about repetition, general facts, schedules, and routines.
And let's talk a little about mistakes learners make here. Sometimes people mix up words like just or already. Those usually belong to present perfect, not present simple. So I just ate, that's present perfect. But I eat breakfast every day, that's present simple because it's a repeated action, a habit.
Yeah, that's a classic trap, and some time markers sound like present simple, but they need careful thinking. For example, today can be tricky. I go to the gym today sounds like present simple, but if it's right now or just for today, present continuous works better. I am going to the gym today.
Yes, that's why context is always important, but the safe present simple clues are words like every day, every week, always, often, sometimes, never, usually, on Mondays in the morning. They all scream habit or routine.
And don't forget schedules and timetables. Keywords like at 9 a.m. on Sunday, every month. Those are classic present simple markers. Like the train leaves at 9 a.m. every day. You wouldn't use present continuous here because it's fixed, regular, scheduled.
Right, and these time markers do more than just indicate tense. They also help the listener understand the emotional or logical mood of the sentence. With present simple, the mood is calm, factual, and habitual. Words like usually and every week reinforce that neutral, reliable feeling.
Absolutely. They give your sentences rhythm and clarity. Once you start noticing them, you'll start spotting present simple everywhere in real English, in signs, schedules, conversations, even recipes. Yes.
Yes, add sugar, stir every minute. Present simple.
Yes.
So to sum up, these keywords are like flags waving at you every day, always, usually, sometimes on Mondays at night, telling you, hey, this is present simple territory.
Yes, they make your English more confident because when you see them, you know exactly which tense to use. It's like having a built-in helper for your sentences.
And that's why we love them. They keep our present simple, precise, natural, and easy to spot in real life.
All right, now let's get into pronunciation and contractions in present simple. This is where English starts sounding like music or sometimes like people talking super fast. Because in real life, nobody says, I do not like pizza slowly and clearly all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Contractions are everywhere in English. They make speech smoother, faster, and more natural. Instead of saying do not, we almost always say don't. And instead of does not, it's doesn't.
Yes, and when you say them in fast speech, they kind of blend together. Like I don't know often sounds like I don't know.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't like it can sound like he doesn't like it in quick conversation. Your ears need to get used to that flow.
Yes, and it's important to practice hearing it because if you only read grammar books, you might get shocked when people speak naturally. They contract everything, and some words almost disappear, like does not becomes doesn't in fast speech. It almost becomes doesn't.
Yeah, it's a little tricky at first, but once you get used to it, it's super natural. So the typical contractions we use in present simple negatives are I don't, you don't, we don't, they don't, he doesn't, she doesn't, it doesn't.
Perfect. And don't forget, contractions are not only for negatives. In questions, the auxiliary do also contracts that the subject sometimes, mostly in spoken English. Like, don't you like coffee instead of do you not like coffee? Or doesn't he work here instead of does he not work here?
Yeah, contractions make questions sound more natural and less stiff. If you say, "Do you not like it?" in a normal conversation, people might think you're being a little formal or even dramatic.
Totally. And pronunciation matters too. For example, the T in don't is usually clear, but the S in doesn't almost disappears in fast speech. So it sounds like doesn't or doesn't, not do-asn't.
Yep. Fast speech changes the way verbs sound, especially with does and don't. And in everyday English, you'll hear all sorts of tiny reductions. I don't know often sounds like I don't know, or
Yeah.
he doesn't like it can sound like he doesn't like it in quick conversation. It's like English has its own lazy mode.
I love that. But it's actually helpful. It makes speech flow naturally. So if you practice contractions, your English will sound smooth and native-like.
Absolutely. So quick recap. In present simple negatives, use don't and doesn't instead of do not or does not. In questions, use contracted forms when possible for natural speech. And pay attention to how they sound fast. It's different from written English, but it's exactly how people speak every day.
And that's the fun part. Learning to hear and say contractions makes present simple feel alive, not just a grammar rule in a book. Once you get it, you can talk, listen, and understand real English in the wild.
Yes. Contractions are your secret weapon for sounding fluent and relaxed in English.
Yep. And trust me, your ears will thank you.
Oh, yes, that's true. All right, now let's talk about common mistakes and confusions, the little traps that always catch learners in present simple. Because it does look
Yes.
simple, but English loves to sneak in tricky situations.
Yes, one of the biggest confusions is with the future. People see a sentence like, the bus arrives at 8 and think, wait, isn't that future? Why not say, will arrive? But here's the trick. Present simple is used for scheduled events, timetables, or things that are planned.
Yes. So even though the bus coming at 8 is technically in the future, it's treated as fixed, reliable, part of a routine. And that's why we use present simple. Same with the train leaves at 6 p.m. or my yoga class starts on Monday.
Right. But if it's a one-time plan or a spontaneous decision, then we switch to will for the future. For example, I will go to the bus stop at 8. That's your personal plan, not the official timetable.
Yes. So the rule of thumb is present simple for schedules and timetables, future simple for decisions, promises, or predictions.
Another common mistake is forgetting the S in third-person singular. Learners often say, he work every day instead of he works every day. It's tiny but very noticeable to native speakers.
Yep. Or confusing negatives. He don't like pizza instead of he doesn't like pizza. Or questions like, does he likes pizza? Instead of, does he like pizza? Those are classic traps.
And sometimes people mix present simple with present continuous, like I watch TV now instead of I am watching TV now. Remember, present simple is for habits, routines, and facts. Present continuous is for actions happening right now or around now.
Yeah, I always tell students, if it's happening at this exact moment, use be plus ing. If it's general, repeated, or scheduled, use present simple. That mental filter helps a lot.
Another tip is to pay attention to time markers. Words like every day, usually, always signal present simple. Words like now, at the moment, today usually signal present continuous. That helps prevent confusion.
And for future confusion, just ask yourself, is it a routine, schedule, or a personal plan, promise, or prediction? If routine, present simple. If plan, will. Easy mental trick.
Yes, and also don't stress about overthinking. Listen to native English. See how they use tenses in context. Timetables, habits, universal truths, present simple. Decisions, promises, sudden plans, future simple.
Perfect. So the main advice to avoid confusion is remember the key signals, time markers, habits, schedules, and fixed truths, And compare them mentally with the action's timing and nature. That way you'll rarely go wrong.
Yep, a little awareness and practice go a long way. And remember, mistakes are okay. They just mean you're learning.
Absolutely. English is tricky, but with these tips, present simple becomes a safe, reliable tool, not a trap.
Couldn't agree more. Once you understand the patterns, you'll see present simple everywhere, and it will start to feel natural, even when talking about future schedules.
All right, folks, now it's my favorite part, real-life examples. This is where we take all that grammar we've been talking about today and actually use it in a mini scene. Imagine this. You're at a cafe in Los Angeles, rain outside, wind howling, exactly like today in our studio. And let's see how present simple works in a real conversation.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, David, you start. You're the customer, I'm the barista.
Perfect. Hi, I come here every morning. I always order a cappuccino. Do you have any oat milk today?
Oh, yes, we always have oat milk. Most people like it with coffee. Do you drink coffee every day?
Yes, I do. I drink coffee every morning and sometimes in the afternoon, too. My dog Max waits for me at home. He loves when I drink coffee because I sit and talk to him.
That's so cute. I only see you walking him around the block before work. Does he like the rain?
No, he doesn't. He hates rain, but he usually runs fast when we're outside and then he comes back home happily.
I see. And what about your parrot, Gemini? Does he talk a lot in the morning?
Yes, he always talks business English. He likes routines, too.
Wow, that's amazing. I drink green tea every morning and do yoga 3 times a week. I love routines.
See, listeners, everything we just used, present simple statements, negatives, questions, time markers like every morning, always, usually, sometimes, contractions like doesn't, and even real-life examples of schedules, all of it is present simple. It's how we describe routines, habits, and things that are true every day.
Exactly. And notice the emotional mood. Calm, natural, just facts about our lives. It doesn't matter if it's raining outside or sunny tomorrow. Present simple helps us talk about life as it usually is.
And here's another micro scene. Imagine you're at the bus stop.
Excuse me, does the bus to downtown leave at 8 a.m.?
Yes, it does. It leaves at 8 every morning. I take it every day, and it usually arrives on time.
Great. I usually take the bus too. I never drive in this weather.
Perfect. See how we used present simple to talk about schedules, routines, and habits again. And even the future, like the bus at 8 a.m., it's still present simple because it's a fixed timetable.
That's why we love this tense, David. It's everywhere, in cafes, with pets, at the bus stop, and even in our morning routines. Once you notice it, you'll see present simple all around you.
Exactly, Jess. And this is what makes this episode a signature one, because it's not just grammar, it's life in English. You can listen, imagine, and practice at the same time.
So, dear listeners, the next time you talk about your habits, schedules, or routines, think of these mini scenes. Pretend you're at a cafe, at a bus stop, or at home with your pets. Use present simple, and it will feel natural.
That's right. And remember, every day, always, usually, sometimes, never, those little words are your best friends. They guide your present simple, like little signposts in English.
So, cozy up, practice these dialogues in your mind, and notice how present simple makes English smooth and predictable.
Exactly. And that's the magic of this tense. Simple, powerful, and everywhere in your everyday life.
Okay, everyone. Now let's finish today's episode with a little mnemonic or life hack to really make present simple stick in your brain. Because sometimes grammar rules are easy to forget, but if you have a simple association, it's much easier to remember.
Oh, I love this part. Give me the magic trick, Jess.
All right, so here's the easiest way to remember present simple. Simple equals routine. Whenever you think of present simple, think of your daily life, habits, schedules, or things that are always true. It's calm, steady, like your morning coffee or your dog Max waiting by the door.
That's perfect. I can already see the picture in my head. Max judging me for not pouring his water on time.
Exactly. And here's another fun one. If you ever confuse tenses, just remember this little phrase. Present simple, habits, facts, schedules, repeat, repeat, repeat. It's like a drumbeat in English. Every time you use it, you repeat a truth, a routine, or a fixed schedule.
I love that. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's so catchy. And it makes sense because present simple is literally about repetition.
Yep. And here's a small joke to help you remember the third person S. Why does he always work hard? Because he doesn't like to fail.
That's genius. That's easy to recall. And here's my addition. Think of present simple like your personal daily diary. Every sentence is a note about what usually happens in your life. No drama, no chaos, just facts.
Perfect. So whenever you see words like every day, always, usually, sometimes, on Mondays, your brain can immediately say, yes, present simple time.
Exactly. Habits, routines, facts, schedules. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And don't forget the helpers, do and does for negatives and questions.
And finally, remember, grammar doesn't have to be boring. Make little jokes, create associations, imagine tiny mini scenes in your head like we did today. That's the real life hack to remember any tense.
Couldn't agree more, Jess. Present simple is simple, but with these tricks, it becomes fun, visual, and easy to use in real life.
Yep. So keep smiling, repeat your routines, and keep practicing, and present simple will become your natural, everyday English companion.
All right, everyone, we've reached the end of today's cozy, rainy, windy Los Angeles episode, and it's time to wrap everything up. Let's do a little recap of what we've learned about present simple so it really sticks in your brain.
Perfect. I'll follow along.
So, first of all, remember the main idea. Present simple is all about habits, routines, facts, and scheduled events. It's calm, reliable, and everywhere in everyday English. It's the tense that describes your life in a steady, predictable way. That's why we call it the heartbeat of English. It keeps conversations flowing naturally.
Exactly. And the key formulas we covered, statements, negatives, and questions, are your building blocks. For statements, it's subject plus base verb plus S or ES for he, she, it. For negatives, do or does, not plus base verb. And for questions, do, does, subject plus base verb. Keep these patterns in mind, and you can confidently create sentences in any real-life situation.
Yep, and don't forget our best friends, the time markers. Words like every day, always, usually, sometimes, on Mondays. These are your signals that present simple is the right choice. They tell you you're talking about routines, habits, or fixed truths.
And we also talked about pronunciation and contractions, how don't and doesn't make speech smoother, and how in fast conversation they almost blend into the words around them. Listening and repeating these forms will help you sound natural.
Right, and we covered common mistakes too, confusing it with present continuous, forgetting the S in third person, or using the wrong tense for scheduled future events. But now you know the tricks. Schedules and timetables, present simple. One-time plans or predictions, future simple.
And we made it fun, from the mini scenes with Max, Gemini, Luna, and our imaginary cafe and bus stop situations, to jokes and mnemonics like repeat, 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 and our little grammar GPS. All of these help you remember how and when to use present simple.
Exactly. The main takeaway is present simple is your reliable everyday English tense. It describes your world, your habits, your routines, and your truths. Once you feel it, it becomes natural to use in conversation, listening, and even writing.
So here's what we'd love from you listeners. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and share it with your friends or on social media. And of course, we really want to hear from you. Share your own experiences, routines, or funny present simple examples in the comments below. We read everything, and it's so much fun to see how you use English in real life.
Absolutely. Your stories, mini dialogues, or even little sentences like, I always drink tea in the morning. They all count. They make learning interactive and real.
So cozy up with your coffee or tea, notice your routines, and practice present simple in your own life. And remember, English is alive, fun, and all around you. Present simple is just your key to unlocking that everyday magic.
Thank you so much for spending this rainy, windy afternoon with us here at the English Hub in Los Angeles. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and we'll see you next time for another fun, cozy episode.
Bye, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Your English adventure is just getting started.
Bye. Keep your routine simple, your English flowing, and remember, repeat, repeat, repeat.
Perfect.